course
I
not.
know not. Not
Y'all
the fire.
don't, right? Y'all
Really?
don't have fire hydrants?
What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets React, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we are back with another American reaction. We're super excited about this video, guys. If you're new to us and we're new to you, make sure you scroll down, hit the red subscribe button, and turn on the post notification bell because we're on the road to 50K. And we cannot get there without you guys, alright? Without further ado, let's get into the video.
It feels like you're living the dream while also escaping the feds.
Oh, wow. That was
He
a
said
lot.
that? Yeah.
Hello, I'm Lawrence. I'm from
Bar.
Britain and I live in the United States. And anybody that's seen my channel before will know that I absolutely love living here. Now, don't get me wrong. You know, I do have feelings about the things that America doesn't do quite so well, just as I'm aware of Britain's shortcomings. But, you know, I'm an optimist. And amid all of the criticisms that might be thrown at America, I often think it's important to remind myself of the things that America does well. You know, I think amid the pandemic of the last 2 years and this sort of political division that's engulfed the country, it can be easy for us to lose sight of those details, those things that have made my stay in the United States an enjoyable one. So I'm going to outline some of them right here, right now, so that you can share this video from now until the end of time. Here are 7 things that the United States of America does really well.
Pizza?
Yes, it's a little bit of a cliche because, you know, everybody loves pizza. Even back in Britain, we like pizza, just not as much as we do in America. You know, I lived in Britain for 26 years, I've lived in America for 14, and I've probably had 100 times more pizzas since moving here. And on the whole, America does them really well. I'm sure the Italians won't thank me for saying that, and I'll caveat that by saying I do also love Italian pizza. I just love pizza in general, that's sort of a rule, isn't it? But America has many different styles, and of course I live in Chicago, so I am living in the place
The
where one of
Chicago
its most famous pizzas was born. And if I'm in the mood and I haven't eaten in 3 days, a Chicago deep dish pizza is amazing. But, and this is the reason that I don't go out onto the streets of Chicago anymore, I actually prefer the Detroit style. I know, because the thing is with Detroit style, it's like Hufflepuff. You know, everybody thinks they're either Gryffindor or Slytherin, but I'm a contrarian by nature, so I always like to go for the third option. For me, it's not New York style or Chicago, it's Detroit. I promise that not all of my answers are about food, but I felt like I had to include this one. Not many things beat the feeling of waking up on a Sunday morning and making that decision to go to your local diner and have breakfast. For me, there's just a significant amount of warmth that comes with an American diner. You know, it's the early morning chatter, it's the pour of the coffee, it's the omelettes and the hash browns, it's the seating booth, it's all of it. I mean, it just makes up for
Makes
such
your
a great
morning
atmosphere.
feel
and, you know, we do
morning-ish.
have, of course, cafeterias and things like that back in Britain, but we don't really have anything that's precisely the same as an American diner, which is sort of a shame because they also remind me of adventure, right? I always think of 2 film characters meeting in secret to plot the overthrow of the villain who's come to annihilate the city. I mean, that's why I go to diners. Streets, this might seem...
Okay, so this is really interesting coming from a person who is from Britain.
Yeah.
And sharing the things that he like about America. And he said he's been here for 14 years. So, very, very interesting. But we started off with food, so I'm hoping we get a little bit more. But okay.
Yeah, food. I mean, that's definitely the number one thing about America that we have, especially down south. Good cooking. You feel me? Pizza is always a go-to dish for adults and for kids. You feel me? So it's all around meal. I understand why he mentioned that one from the jump. So
and the diners.
Yeah, diners
restaurants.
again.
We have a lot of different types of restaurants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a weird answer, especially since, of course, we have streets in Britain. And to some extent, I miss the streets in Britain. You know, there's character to the winding nature of them, and you can very much get lost just looking for the post office. Here, it feels like you're less likely to do that, and the orderly side of my brain appreciates that. Streets, firstly, of course, are laid out usually in blocks, so you have kind of rectangular streets. This is very much in line with my observations of America's fascination with rectangles. But it's not just that, right? It's the things that are on the street.
It's simple.
Those fire hydrants that you see in the movies, it turns out they're real. And the house numbers seem to go on forever. It almost seem peculiar back in Britain if the house numbers...
I know not. Not
y'all
the fire.
Right, y'all don't have fire hydrants?
How y'all doing y'all little cleans of the water and the
water
sewers and
pressure.
stuff? Yeah, know that. Like, what's going on?
Okay.
That's different.
That's interesting.
Must be something they only see on TV.
Yeah, and I want to speak on the gridlocks. There was this survey in my speech class in high school, and it said that men know how to get around the streets and all of that, and women know how to get by based on landmarks. So if you turn right at McDonald's, you'll get there. A man is going to say, if you turn right on Basswood, you'll get there. And we're like, where's Basswood?
Well, you gotta take 3 blocks down, and then you'll be able to take that right, and you see it. Yeah.
Exactly. So the blocks actually help us learn where things are.
That's cool beans right there.
Went into 4 digits. I don't know that I've had an American address that's had fewer than 3. Are there any Americans that live at, number 4 Washington Street? Oh, and streets as well. They're all named after presidents or places in America or types of tree. And I just love that continuity. I love saying things like, I'll meet you on the corner of Maplewood and Jefferson at 5. And there are always people walking their dogs on these streets.
Facts.
And they're usually super polite and they'll look you in the eye and say, good morning.
Yeah.
It's afternoon.
He hit it on the note.
Entertainment.
Entertainment.
I mean, that's quite a broad term, but I think in general terms, very few countries do entertainment like the United States. Firstly, I mean, America produces so much entertainment. You could be talking about music, television, film, and in each of those, there's just such a vast array of output. Now, don't get me wrong, some of it's crap, but when they get it right, which historically has been often, you end up with The Wizard of Oz, you end up with Star Wars, you end up with the Marvel franchise, Quantum Leap. Could go on.
These videos. Theme
parks,
I'm including this under entertainment, but it seems as though theme parks deserve their own entry. That was a pun on entering a theme park.
Yeah.
Now, over the years, Britain has had its fair share of theme parks, from Alton Towers to Flamingo Land to the M25, but America just has more of them. And of course, I think everybody knows about Disneyland, and Disney World, and Universal Studios and all of that. But after moving here, I realised, much to my intense happiness, that theme parks aren't just reserved for Florida and California, but can actually be found in many states.
Yeah.
I think the first one I went to was Kings Island, just outside of Cincinnati. And I also went to Holiday World in Santa Claus, Indiana, and yes, that's a real place. And the strange thing is, I didn't go on many of the roller coasters because I have this overwhelming feeling that we're going to crash.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm finna say you too, huh?
Theme parks. And to me, it's the atmosphere. It's the balloons. It's the movie scores that play throughout the entire place. It's the hot summer days. It's the interns dressed in a Yogi Bear costume. Come to think of it, that must be hell in July. But for the rest of us, it's great to meet Yogi and friends. People who watch this channel regularly know that I absolutely love parks, partly for the opposite reason that I love theme parks, which now that I've said that out loud, I've just realised that theme parks are themselves parks.
You're good.
Anyway, the point is,
You're
it's
good.
the relative absence of people that makes them so enjoyable. This was even the case for me when I lived in Britain, where we have a boatload of parks, some of which have boats. But just like with theme parks, America has way more of them. Some of them are absolutely massive. There's one in Alaska that is larger than Northern Ireland and Wales combined. In fact, back in the day, I did a video about US national parks that absolutely dwarf their UK equivalents. I'll link to that at the end of this video. And there's sort of a hierarchy of parks here as well. You've got the sort of local municipal parks, you've got state parks, you've got national parks. Spoiled for choice because the United States is made up of a very diverse terrain. So you've got the hot springs at Yellowstone National Park, you've got the tree-laden mountains of Great Smoky Mountains National Park, you've got the Grand Canyon, and just 100 million other places. That is an exaggeration. So there's a lot of them. And of course, you could fly to these places.
Hold on. It's like, okay, with us reacting to a lot of these different American type of videos of America's bad, this is why I left, those type of videos, the things he's saying is like simple things that we have that, and you'll think other areas have that. But it's just putting it in a different perspective, like, hey, you have this, enjoy it.
Right.
Yeah,
that makes sense. And people will come from other countries just for this. Like, especially if they're family oriented. We have a lot of parks, theme parks. Man, I can go on and on. Like, we have so many things like that where people can come out and enjoy family-friendly vibes. And it's very family-friendly. Like you said, people will look in your eyes, speak to you, and may help hold a conversation with you. But the fact that they're acknowledging you, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
They let you know that you're there, that your presence is welcome. You feel me? So that's big.
And you never know, your hello may be something that someone needs
to
stop from having those negative thoughts. Or, you know I reached out to somebody one day, just walking past in the store, and I was like, hey, hello. And they had tears in their eyes. And when they saw me, they had the brightest smile. Didn't know this person at all. And you can only imagine what that person was going through before I say hi.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Although not directly, you'd have to go to an airport. But really, let's be honest, does that beat a good old American road trip? I don't think so. I love the open road in the US, and some of that comes from the movies. Again, it's just like with the diner. It feels like you're living the dream while also escaping the feds. And you just stick on Billy Joel or something cool, you wind down the window and you just hit the gas. Man.
Yeah.
Not the gas man. You hit the gas, man. It's amazing. And that open road, of course, really
You're probably
is
doing
open
both.
and long, with some highways spanning the entire country. And you see things on these journeys that you don't see from the air, and you certainly wouldn't see in Britain, like quirky roadside attractions, especially when you're on a route,
pictures,
or the terrain that I just spoke about. And taking road trips in Britain was never quite the same thing, because firstly, the country is nowhere near as big, and secondly, in the UK, you can get to most towns and cities by train, which is equally adventurous, but you can't really do that for the most part in America, because there isn't high-speed rail. That's an example of something it doesn't do too well, so I've learned to embrace one of the things that it does, and that's road trips. That is it for this episode. Let me know in the comments below some of the things that you think America does well. I'm Laurence Brown.
That was a good video. Like I said, it's like the things that he liked about America was very simple things that we could take for granted. If we were people who was, naive and be like, oh, they say it's better this place. And then we just up and move our entire life, our entire family. And then we get there and we're miserable because we're so used to certain things. It's just like the grass is not always greener depending on who you are.
Right, like he said, the traveling in Britain, they would have to take the train to one location to another, and that's adventurous to them. But for us, we moved to Britain, and we see that, you know what, I could have took the plane to where I wanted to go, the road trip, I could even took a boat maybe if I wanted to, you know what I'm saying? That's more adventurous things, and it's always bigger that way because we think about our children too. We always want to expand what they know by just showing them new scenery. So America has a lot of beautiful sceneries and attractions that's going to always be so complimentary to you. So if you're like a camera buff, if you love to be on camera, you're gonna have a camera with you and take a lot of pictures if you come up this way.
Definitely. We have a beautiful country.
Definitely.
And I don't wanna go into all the things that we like, because we are going to do a video of things that we like about America. Because although we are doing all of these videos, we're learning so much about other areas, so many things that you guys have that we don't have. But again, we are American. We love our country, and it's like we don't hate our country, but we are acknowledging the flaws. And because we do have this platform, because other Americans do watch us, they're able to open their eyes to things that we don't have, things that maybe we can all get on one accord. Of course, our channel isn't that big yet. No. It will be. Soon. But with the 37,000 people, I think we have to, however many that we have, if we could all get on one accord and bring these things that we want, that other countries have, other free countries like us have, we can bring it to our state representatives. We can vote these things into office and make them law, and make America a great place. Right. Not that slogan, but make America a great place. Okay, so that's all I have, babe. What about you?
We can go on and on, but that's about it. We're going to wrap this video up because like Sierra said, we do have another video that's going to come out that's going to talk even more in depth about everything that's great about our locations. And it's just that.
Yeah. So like this video, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell. We have enabled our super thanks if you would like to support the channel that way in any way. And also our P.O. box if you would like to send us things from your country that you love about your country. We would love to see what they are and open them with our children and blah, 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 all that good stuff. All right. We'll see y'all soon.
Peace.